We just ended October, or as we like to call it, Uptober in crypto terms, and it's typically a good month for us. So let's take a look at what has gone on. So what I have here with us today is the daily chart, and we're looking at it year to date from January 2024 all the way till today. So, just a recap, what we've seen so far in this year is that, Bitcoin really took a huge leap forward in the first quarter of this year. So we started the year in January somewhere around the 42,000 mark, I think. And, quickly rose up above 70,000 and charted a new all-time high at 73,000 back in March. And what happened since then was just 6 long months of sideways action, trading between 70,000 and sometimes 55,000, and even wicking below at times. So the theory is that Q4 being one of the best quarters for Bitcoin traditionally, especially in a halving year. We were expecting Bitcoin to break out of this zone sometime in the October-November timeframe. And as you can see here, 70,000 has proven to be a really strong point of resistance for the price. So we've seen Bitcoin, burst through $70,000 a couple of times over the past year, but it's never been able to stay there for long. In fact, it's never remained above 70,000 for more than, I think, 2 or 3 consecutive days. So it's been a tough, line of resistance to break. But the good thing is that we've done it recently in the last couple of days of October. In fact, the last time that we've burst beyond $70,000 was way back in June, early June, in fact. And since then, we've just been kind of, bumping around, between $60,000 and $65,000, $67,000. So I'd still say it's a pretty good sign. So, we've had 6 months of sideways chop. It's a little bit difficult to maybe see the trend in this chart. So let's move to the monthly chart where maybe we can see things a little bit more clearly. So on the monthly chart, we can look all the way back to, 2019, 2020, back in the previous bull run, right, where we saw a peak back in March 2021, and then a second peak in October of 2021 as well. And November 2021 was where we got the last all-time high. And since then, we went into the bear market of 22, and then we started 23 at the bottom. So December of 2022 was actually the bottom of the bear market, and we started going up from there. So 2023 was a pretty good year. Excuse me. We started the year, at $16,686. We managed to end the year at more than 100% increase, reaching, $42,000. And we started 2024. We started this year at 42,000, and very rapidly charted a new all-time high in March of 2024. So you can see the 6 months following that of a bit of a consolidation and sideways action. Possibly to make up for the fact that we probably rode up too quickly back in February of this year. So, if you chart from January all the way back, all the way to now, it's actually a pretty nice move. All things considered, we've gone, I think, we're more than 60% year to date in terms of price gains. And for the month of October, we've actually logged an increase of 11% in terms of price action. So all the way from 63,000 all the way to close the month at 70,200 odd. And we're starting November. I don't think we've seen much action yet, but next week is probably going to be a pretty exciting week. We've got the US elections, the presidential elections on 5th of November. There's speculation that a Trump presidency would be a better, would be a more bullish thing to happen for Bitcoin price than a Harris presidency, although I think in the long run it probably doesn't matter. So that's number one, 5th of November, presidential election. And on the 7th of November, we've got the Federal Reserve coming together to decide on the November rate cuts, if any. I think most people are pricing in a 25 basis point rate cut. Possibly a 50 basis points rate cut is on the table as well. So if that happens, I think it's gonna be a very good news for price action in terms of Bitcoin. So I think we might be a little quiet and see a lot more muted price action over the weekend, as we head into the weekend, and then traders probably want to take a wait and see approach in terms of, who wins the presidency and what happens to the Fed decision in terms of where to take the interest rates. So yeah, I think that's about it. We've had 6 months of pretty much nothing going on in terms of price, but I'm pretty hopeful that by the end of November, we might see a price range of, I think somewhere closer to 80,000 or so. So the other piece of good news is that, even though we did not chart a new all-time high in October, we did manage to have the second highest monthly candle close for Bitcoin ever. So that's a pretty good news. And I think from a trend perspective, we've definitely broken out of that downward price action, and we've broken out quite cleanly as well. So definitely looking to see Bitcoin test and definitely notch a new all-time high in November, and probably test the $80,000 region as well. So that's probably another 10-15% price move in November. We'll see if I'm right, and if that actually happens. Cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of the price action in October? Was it up to your expectations? Did you think that it was going to go higher or lower? What do you think about the price at the end of November? Do let me know in the comments below. All right. See you in the next video. Bye.